delete the not, yes.
After
I
cannot.
think my cannot not. It's either my cannot or it is not. Thank you, Commissioner. I cannot discuss the evidence that will be led when the trial of Lieutenant General Kumalo and his co-accused gets underway, or the merits of the criminal case against them. The sub judice rule precludes me from doing so. Be that as it may, I may indicate that there was a series of matters referred to IDAC in terms of the Section 27/1, Mr. Adams. When the whole picture is presented, they include the following. 25(1). The manipulation of recruitment processes and appointment of persons without suitable qualifications into senior strategic posts in the criminal intelligence unit. 25(2). The bypassing of vetting processes, which, among others, manifested itself in the failure to apply for and get top secret clearances where required. A standard requirement for crime intelligence unit personnel, especially senior appointments. And at 25.3, the appointments of persons not suitably qualified and or experienced as a form of gratification for their collusion later in the looting of state funds, for example, the purchase of properties. 26. As I indicate somewhere towards the end of this affidavit, I intend to apply for leave to testify before this commission. If leave to do so is granted, I will get an opportunity to expand on the issues to which reference is made above. State capture is a type of systemic political corruption in which private interests significantly influence a state's decision-making processes to advantage and or benefit of certain individuals. 27. When one looks at all the cases referred to IDAC by Mr. Adams, they depict the capture of systems and processes for private interests by the head of CI and other senior managers. This too is an issue I intend to testify about should I be granted leave to. 28. The picture that has emerged is that the appointment and installation of certain persons in certain positions within the Crime Intelligence Unit, CIU, by Lieutenant General Kumalo and his co-accused persons helped them strategically to access funding without following proper processes. This is because their token appointments would not stop them from their unlawful acts.
Sorry, you referred to persons in the plural. The picture that has emerged is that the appointment and installation of certain persons in certain positions, and it goes on. The only complaint I'm aware of, I may be mistaken, is a complaint about the appointment of Brigadier Mokwele. Are there any other appointments in respect of which there are complaints?
So the appointments are in terms of other persons that are not in that specific leg of investigation.
So there are other names besides Brigadier Mokwele?
Yes, but not in that specific leg, but arising out of the complaint by Mr. Adams.
Sorry, maybe you're missing the chair's question. Was there a referral to IDAC in respect of other people or other positions?
When we got the referral from Mr. Adams, and it was given to the prosecutors together with those dockets, they were able to identify that there are issues relating to vetting and appointments. The appointment of Brigadier Mokwele was one of them. But I think there is one other matter where the issue of an appointment is also part of the complaint, part of the investigation that was dealt with.
You're still not answering, Advocate Johnson. Was there a referral to IDEC in respect of other positions other than Ms. Mokwele or Brigadier Mokwele?
Not out of this, no.
So to the extent that IDEC went and looked at other people who were quote unquote strategically placed, it's IDEC that decided to do that. There was no referral saying there are people who are strategically placed within crime intelligence. Investigate how they were placed there.
Commissioner Kumalo, to explain perhaps as follows. I don't know whether I'm using that. It's not a complaint about an appointment, as in a new appointment. Perhaps it is a complaint about the placement of a person in a position that arose out of the non-compliance with the vetting positions. So it's not, the only complaint about an actual appointment was the Mokwele, that the allegation is she should not have been appointed.
So then there is no complaint to IDEC about appointment and installation of certain persons, plural.
No, it is a person.
Person.
I correct myself. Thank you.
And that person is Brigadier Mokwele.
That was the only one that I am aware of that was referred to as an appointment. Thank you.
Thank you. Please proceed.
I now turn to the charges against Lieutenant General Kumalo and co-accused. Capital B, the charges against Lieutenant General S.D. Kumalo. Paragraph 10. A charge sheet is a public document. Thus, as opposed to regurgitating its content, I should do no less or more than to refer the Commission to the charge sheet. A true copy of his charge sheet is attached here too and marked AJ1. Paragraph 11. The charge sheet concerns not only Lieutenant General Kumalo, but his co-accused as well. In the charge sheet, I emphasize and draw the attention of the Commission to the charges which each of the accused persons, Lieutenant General Kumalo in particular, is facing. The Commission will note that they are facing, among others, 11.1. Contraventions of the provisions of Section 4A of the Prevention and Combating of Corrupt Activities Act, 12 of 2004. 11.2. Contraventions of the provisions of Section 4B of the Prevention and Combating of Corrupt Activities Act, again 12 of 2004. And 11.3, fraud and other related offences. Paragraph C. The arrest of Lieutenant General Kumalo. The evidence before this Commission is that Lieutenant General Kumalo was arrested in a dramatic fashion. Nothing can be further from the truth. It is important that I address this aspect as well. Paragraph 13. Lieutenant General Kumalo was arrested on 26 June 2025 at Oliver Reginald Tambo International Airport, Otia. Only two senior criminal investigators in IDEC, senior criminal investigators within IDEC, were tasked with the exercise and effected his arrest. It was Mr. Sunil Belochan and Ayan Dambalo, in brackets, the investigators. If I may then pause here, yes. Commissioners, and Advocate Selo, to go to the last statement. Statement number 3.
You deal with that correction at your paragraph 10.1?
That is correct. So paragraph 14 as it reads in the original.
Before we do so, what do you suggest? Are you going to amend some parts of that paragraph, of the current paragraph 14 of the main statement, or are you proposing an entire deletion of that paragraph and substitution?
an entire deletion of that paragraph, as well as paragraph 15.
Thank you.
Because they should read correctly. And as they currently stand in the original affidavit, they do not read correctly.
Okay. Then let's deal with the first.
Paragraph 14 of the original affidavit to be deleted and to read as it does in paragraph 10.1 of the third statement. I say in 10.1, paragraph 14 must be replaced and should read as follows. Lieutenant General Kumalo was arrested after he had landed at the Oliver Reginald Tambo International Airport, Otia. I do not recall where he was traveling from. I was informed that at the time, his co-accused had already been invited to report to the Brooklyn police station. That is the correction.
Noted.
I therefore ask as well that paragraph 15 of the original affidavit, commissioners, be deleted and to read as it does in paragraph 10.2 of the last affidavit, wherein I state paragraph 15 must be replaced and should read as follows. The investigators went to Otia to inform General Kumalo that there was a warrant for his arrest and for him to hand himself over. They had a warrant of arrest for him. Warrants of arrest had also been sought and obtained for his co-accused before they were requested to hand themselves over at the Brooklyn SEPS. Those are the corrections, commissioners, to paragraphs 14 and 15 of the original affidavit.
Noted. Thank you. We may proceed with the new statement.
If I could just have some water. Thank you. Paragraph 16. Upon finding him at Otia, the two investigators explained who they were, why they were there, why he was sought, and what his rights were. They then asked Lieutenant General S.D. Kumalo to accompany them to Brooklyn Police Station in Pretoria. He cooperated and was taken there. There was nothing dramatic about it. 17. At all times during his arrest, Lieutenant General Kumalo's security detail was with him. He was not threatened and was accorded all the respect that could be accorded a person of his profile. On the way from Otia to Brooklyn Police Station, the investigators had occasion to stop and get something to drink from a filling station at the request of Lieutenant General Kumalo for himself. Paragraph 18. Once Lieutenant General Kumalo had been processed at Brooklyn Police Station, he personally thanked Chief Investigator Perumal for treating him and the other co-accused in a respectful and dignified manner. This talks to anything but the conduct of a unit that is motivated by ulterior motives other than to address alleged criminality. Paragraph 19. I would be remiss if I do not dismiss the suggestion that Lieutenant General Kumalo was arrested because he was the coordinator of the Political Killings Task Team, in brackets, PKTT. This suggestion is anything but true. It is false as it is unfortunate. The truth is that IDEC was investigating Lieutenant General Kumalo in his capacity as the Divisional Commissioner of Crime Intelligence for alleged unlawful conduct that manifested itself in the execution of his duties in that capacity. Paragraph 20. The fact that Lieutenant General Kumalo also held another portfolio in relation to the PKTT was not within our knowledge. At no stage was I, as the head of IDEC, aware that Lieutenant General Kumalo had anything to do with the PKTT, let alone being its convener. In any event, even had I been aware of same, such would have been irrelevant because of the reasons for his arrest. I have attached it to this affidavit and therefore placed his charge sheet at the disposal of this commission. Paragraph D. The charges fall within the mandate of the IDAC. 21. The allegations concerning Lieutenant General Kumalo and co-accused came to the attention of IDAC by way of a referral that was made in terms of Section 27 of the NPA Act. 22. Section 27 of the NPA Act provides that, quote, if any person has reasonable grounds to suspect that a specified offense has been or is being committed, or that an attempt has been made or is being made to commit such an offense, he or she may report the matter in question to the head of an investigating directorate by means of an affidavit or affirmed declaration specifying A, the nature of the suspicion, B, the grounds on which the suspicion is based, and C, all other relevant information known to the declarant, close quote. Paragraph 23. The referral was made by Mr. Fadil Adams, in brackets, Mr. Adams. It was not treated any differently. It was supervised and overseen like any other.
What do you mean by supervised and overseen?
When a Section 27 matter comes in, they sometimes come directly to the office of the investigating director, or the investigating directorate has a head of operations, which is Mr. Matthew Sissoko, and Section 27s may go there. The matters are considered either first by the ID, but given that these matters may be voluminous, my office almost invariably refers them to Mr. Sissoko for his perusal of the matter and for a summation on whether or not it falls within the IDAC mandate. He will then bring the entire matter to myself for me to then peruse the matter, consider his recommendation. If the matter falls within the mandate of IDAC, that matter is then, commissioners, allocated to a team. And when I say team, there are various teams in IDAC